Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Battle of Souls is a two-player card game where one person is playing for heaven and the other side is playing for hell. Right off the bat, the theme is going to turn some people off. In particular, I don't really care. It's not a theme that I'm really into, that I want to play this Battle for Souls. It seems a little bit macabre a little bit. It's okay. I think some people are really going to be against it and some people are going to be alright with it. I don't know how many people are going to be really into this, maybe a small niche market. It's a neat theme. It allowed the publisher to use some public domain pictures and save on the artwork, which I kind of find distracting. I don't really like it that much. The artwork is, while historical and perhaps beautiful in other aspects, it looks like it doesn't belong in the game. I don't know what I would have preferred. Probably a different theme, to be honest, just because I'm not really into this damnation of souls, and whether you buy into that concept or not, let's just say for the sake of the game you do. I don't know if it's something that I want to play. That's just me. So I'm going to put that aside and just talk about the game. The game comes through moving these tokens up and down and seeing which side will be able to win the souls, and then most of those thus getting victory points. And a lot of what you're doing is kind of playing this poker hand of cards in order to do so. When I was pitching games for a while, people were always like, you should add in poker, and add in poker, and add in poker. And I just don't want to play poker. I don't really like the matching of the cards. I find it very confusing. 3 of a set, 4 of a set, 5 of a set. For you gamers out there, this is not going to be a problem. After a couple plays, it'll be very fluid. Now let's talk about the good of this game. This is a pretty solid card game. It doesn't play a lot like other card games. It has a unique theme on it, something very different than zombies or trading in the Mediterranean. You're going to have a Battle for Souls, and it's very unique and very kind of warranted, I guess, in some aspects. Even though it isn't for me, just something different is nice to see. And I don't remember a whole lot of games about this that kind of take it from the classy kind of point that they do here. A lot of Catholicism in this game, I feel like. I don't know if that was something it was intended to do, but it is definitely something that I can see a lot in this game. Unique play, fun little two-player card game. I don't think I'd play. There is a solo variant, but I think this one squarely fits into two-player card game. It's okay. I liked it, got a lot of use out of it. I'm going to let it pass now just because of the theme. It's not something I keep wanting to go back to. Every so often I pull off the shelf, I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty fun game, but I'm going to go ahead and let this one pass through. It's a very good, very solid game, one that I've had a lot of fun with, but I've played it out, and now it's time to purge this game. For if you have not played this game, this is one I can definitely recommend for you to check out, especially if you're in a situation where you have 2 players quite a bit and you enjoy card games. Here's Battle for Souls. Choose your side, heaven or hell. You open it up, you're going to see a rule book, which we'll take a look in a few minutes. A semi-custom insert, place for your dice here, place for your cards. You're going to have some random, nice-looking little brown cubes that you'll use. You'll have these cards that will have your rewards on it, kind of a cheat sheet of turn order. And then you'll have these, which will have different people. Now, the artwork is just public domain. I'm not crazy about it. Every once in a while, you're going to have somebody from Kickstarter that's just going to look weird, like this Blushing Bride. You're going to have a set of cards for the bad guys, the devil side of things. Some of these cards have no artwork whatsoever, but most of it's public domain that was utilized. And I think a lot of care went into the choice of what pictures they used. On this side, you're going to have all the good guy cards, the virtue side, and you can see a bunch of stuff here of Christian pictures and stuff. And a lot of these cards you'll be utilizing are just plain. The cards have a good feel to them. I like this kind of finish. They feel a little thin, but they're not going to break or bend on you. These are custom, and they're really nice that they have the arrows, so when you move to the next number, you know the direction to go, which I find to be very, very neat. I like that. I've never seen it on dice before. Very useful. Here's a rule book for Battle for Souls. It's kind of a small book. You're going to see a table of contents here. The components with no pictures, that's a big boo-boo. And here's the setup of play. It all looks really good right there. Now you're going to see the victory points, how to play, and an outline of what the picture is here. And then a turn order and rules about backtracking, which really aren't needed. Here is gameplay of what you go through on a turn, the different hand rewards. This is pretty nice. This is also printed without pictures on this handy dandy player aid. And then you're going to see a representative of the cards here, how to play the Sin cards and Intercession, the Reap cards, Draw, and the stupid team play thing that I don't think anybody would want to play, which is really just two people playing the same side. And there are some solo play roles and customizing game length, and then a couple of Kickstarter backer pages, and that's it. I found the rulebook to be pretty good. There's a lot going on here. I wish the font was bigger. It's a little small. I think you can learn. There's a lot of rules in this game, and you can tell kind of that it might be a first design. So these are the souls that you're going to be fighting over, and you're going to have a whole bunch of these, and you'll go through the full amount in order to end the game. And what you're doing is, if it gets a holy point, it will go up, and if it has an unholy point, it'll go down. And it's a pretty good indication that the holy person should sit on this side, and the unholy should sit on this side, so the dice are going towards them. And these numbers on the dice can increase or decrease as the game goes on. And you might end up with, I don't know, something like this as you're playing. You'll move this up, and this will just be neutral in the middle. To the right of this is how many victory points that the card will be worth, and the virtue and weakness that this character has. In this case, temperance and sloth, patience and envy, kindness and sloth. If you play a card with an archangel, or the opposite would be true of this, and it didn't have any holy points on it, and it matched the color, then you could add 1 holy point to that amount just for playing that card. And the same would be true if it matched this side, it would come down. So that would be the first thing that you can do. The second thing you can do is spend holy points or unholy points in order to buy an Intercession or Sin card, depending on which side that you're on. You can only purchase 1 card on your turn and may only spend points from a single soul. So if I had multiple, like a 3 on this, I could spin down to 1 and add one of these Intercession cards. And it would also be true for Sin if there was an unholy one. Now these cards will do different things, so let's flip them over and see. This one will give you a victory point, +2 to diligence or patience, and -2 to sloth or rat. And this one gives you instant 3 times per game. Despair can block 1 holy point from being added to the soul of your choice. So they will give you victory points, add and subtract things, and give you special powers. The third thing you do in a turn is spend and utilize these virtue or temptation cards, depending on which side you are. The first thing you should notice when you flip these over is that these cards are just different color. No real artwork on them, but does have some of the top sins and top virtues that you'll have here, and you can utilize these as you play. You have a hand limit of 8, so what you can do on a turn is you can play these for their benefit or discard any number that you want and then draw 1 card. To be clear, you can pick 1 of those 3 possible actions. So you would play these cards kind of like you would poker. In this case, I have 1 pair. This allows you to take a victory point card. The victory point card earned must be placed in your discard pile. You can also play 2 pair if you have them, and that gives you either a free Sin or Intercession card, which once again can be very powerful actions that you can have during the game. Now, I'm not going to go through every action, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can do here based on 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, 5 different colors, set of 4 different colors. There's all different kind of actions that you can take. These will also be outlined on your player aid without pictures, but a word or sentence description of each power and what you have to collect in order to utilize that. Now, earlier in the turn, you were able to purchase these Intercession and Sin cards. And the 4th stage is when you'll be able to actually use them and actually help you utilize the cards as you're playing the game. And now the last thing you'll be able to do is play a Reap card, which will allow you to score these cards. If at least one of these Reaps have at least a 4, so let's say this one has a 5, then you'd be able to reap that. If all of them are holy, as they are in this case, or if all of them are unholy, then you could just take all 3 of them, putting out new cards to replace the ones that you've scored. If at the end of the turn you have less than 5 cards in your hand, you draw back up to 5, that will end the turn, and you will do the exact same thing again, and you'll just take turns going back and forth letting the player do that. The game ends when the last soul has been won by heaven or by hell. Then you count the number of victory points, and whoever has the most is your winner. Who should buy this game? I feel like if you're into the religion aspect of this game, I think it will play a lot more for you. Although I think you're going to have a harder time playing the devil side of it, the Satan side of it. I think they're going to have a problem with that. One of the problems with this game, I feel like, I don't know how well it's sold, but it's going to be a niche market because a lot of the atheists and people who aren't into this religious aspect of the game or just don't want the religion of the game are going to be turned off by it. Where if you had trolls and ogres fighting, I don't think that would have been the same case. So I think he almost put himself into a corner here with this just because it is such a theme and a world that people either don't want in their games or not comfortable in their games, or the subject matter itself is just a little bit untelling or unfeeling for them. Otherwise, you're going to get a pretty solid 2-player card game that I think a lot of people, a wife and a husband, or couples, or friends who want to sit down and play a 2-player card game that's kind of back and forth, has some set collection and some poker hands in it. I think you're really going to have something that you enjoy here. Battle for Souls is a game I can recommend. I'll be purging it just because I don't need it in my collection anymore. I've played it out. But I think that for a lot of people, this is a surprise. And right now, I think it's on sale across the internet and one you might want to check out. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.